My name is Garrett Buckland. I work with Premier Viticultural Services. We're here today at Nickel and Nickel. We're picking some grapes for our single vineyard wine at the Sullinger Ranch. So we're here to talk a little bit about the season and how things went this year. All right, so we're picking here today. You can see we're bringing this fruit in. It's a nice balmy 65 degrees right now, and we've got our first pick on site happening. Harvest is going incredibly well for us. Yields are a little bit light this year. It was kind of expected. It's been a bit of a dry season up to this point. So quality is absolutely fantastic. Really small berries this year and intense concentrated flavor. So we're very excited about the 2021 vintage. It's going to have, again, all the hallmarks of a classic Napa Valley vintage. Okay, well, we're right in the middle of the harvest right now. We've got on this particular property with this brand, we're about 50% finished. And I think area-wide this year, we're running about probably about 30 to 40% in for our Cabernet. This next 2 weeks is going to be really the most important part of the year. We've got a little change in weather, maybe some rain coming next week, and so everybody is really interested in getting this fruit off the vine. We've worked so hard all year to make excellent quality wines. Now's the finish line. So like every year, we always have challenges. We had a bit of rain, which is pretty common for us. It happened a couple weeks ago. And you know, when that happens, everybody thinks about how ready we are. And a lot of our vineyards here on this property weren't quite ready for picking. We made it through just fine. It's a pretty common thing for us, but rain and all these potential heat events at the end of the year really force us to think about when we're bringing fruit in. How we manage some of those things are typically with other mitigation types of strategies. In this particular vineyard, we used shade cloth this year to cover our fruit. It's down right now because the guys are picking, but we were able to use the shade cloth to add additional layer of protection on our fruit during the hottest times of the year. So one of the things that we use in years where we don't have a lot of water is we really manage our canopy. So you'll see here we've actually taken steps to grow a smaller canopy. We removed a lot of laterals. We got rid of some of the really fleshy young leaves. We hedged a lot of our vines tighter this year. Knowing that we had less to work with from the beginning this year meant that I needed to do some cultural practices to make sure I didn't get into trouble. So as you look at our leaf area, we have it really well balanced for our crop. That's one of the strategies that we can use less water in the vineyard and create less demand for water. Other strategies that I'm using, we're using a lot of technology in the vineyards. We have quite a few sensors that are real-time sensors telling us exactly the type of water that plants are using and how much and when. I can look at that on a weekly basis or even a daily basis and help make smart decisions. In this particular vineyard, we don't water very much at all. We have a strategy of what we call the big drink strategy. So we only water a few times a year and we water slightly larger volumes so that it lasts longer. As a result, we've made really fantastic wine this year and reduced our overall water consumption quite a bit. So these are all strategies that every grower is taking in drought conditions and something we think about even in wet conditions in a normal season. This is one of those quality vintages that we're all going to be looking back on 10 years from now as we drink these wines saying what a fantastic season that was. I'm very excited about this, hoping that everybody's experiencing a really great harvest this year. I'm going to go ahead and say this is the vintage of the decade.